In this video, we're going to take a look at enabling HMR, or Hot Module Replacement, with the Webpack Dev Server. So I've already talked about HMR in a previous course using modern JavaScript today, so I won't spend a whole lot of time talking about how it works. But even if you are not familiar with what it is, you should be able to follow along, and you will immediately see the benefits. So what does HMR do? HMR allows us to hot reload our styles and some of our JavaScript code onto a page without having to refresh that page. It might sound like a very, very, very trivial sort of thing. It's like, if you've been developing for a couple years, you just kind of get used to Alt-Tab refresh every time you make a style change or if you make a minor script change. But it turns out that all that time you spend refreshing actually significantly adds up. And because of how easy it is to enable HMR with Webpack, I recommend that people do this for development. Now, it is not something that we would use in production. We would not hot replace our code in production using this technique. So instead, we just use it for development. But again, it will massively speed up our time. Like, imagine we're in a game, and we have a game going, card game going, and let's say I have 5 browser windows open, and they're all in the middle of this game, and there's already chat messages being sent that I tested, and we're already halfway through. Some people have points, some people don't, so it's the state of the application took a little bit of time to set up, but then I want to make some minor tweak to a React component, or I want to make a style change. All I got to do at this point, with HMR enabled and properly configured, is hit Control-S in my code editor, and then suddenly that change will be then instantly applied to all of my open browsers. So it's a fantastic time saver. So to have HMR enabled, it does come with the ability to reload your styles out of the box. So that's fantastic. And then to reload JavaScript, it does require a little bit of configuration. We'll take a look at that here in a bit. So let's see here. You'll want to start off by taking a look at how you're starting your Webpack dev server. Make sure that you have hot set to true. That enables, for the Webpack dev server, that will enable its understanding of hot module replacement. So basically what the Webpack dev server will do is it'll open up a server, a WebSocket server that our client code will then connect to. And then Webpack dev server will then notify through that socket connection in real time as files change and what files need to be reloaded. So that's the first step. Webpack dev server has to have hot enabled, set to true. The second step is in our Webpack config. We have to do a couple things to enable hot module replacement. We need to add a plugin, and we need to add in some items into our entry point. So the plugin that we enable is, I'm going to go ahead and inside of this isDebug thing, inside of our create config function, inside the isDebug block, I'm going to put in all the code that's going to enable hot module replacement, but only for debug builds. And I'm simply going to start off by doing plugins.push new webpack.hot module replacement plugin. So that will add in a plugin that will then understand code that requests it to code that requests that hot module replacement is enabled for that module. This plugin will then recognize that and enable it for us. But there's one more thing we have to do here, and that is we have to actually add some additional code into our package for hot module replacement to be enabled. On the client side actually has to know where's the Webpack dev server running, so it knows how to connect to it and receive the messages to reload the modules as you change your code. And in Webpack configurations, one of the easiest ways to add additional code that's going to be requested and put into our package is to add a couple entries into our entry. Our entry point, if it's an array, we can pass in an array of strings, and each one of those files that it points to will be added into the bundle. So what I'm going to do for the client entry is I'm going to prepend 2 additional files that need to be included into our build so that the hot module replacement will work. And I have to configure one of them. I need to tell one of them where my Webpack dev server is going to be hosted on. So what we're going to do is we're going to say client entry, and then I'm going to do simply unshift, which will prepend items onto the array. And then I'm going to pass in 2 strings, and the first one's going to be Webpack webpack-dev-server/client. But then I'm going to say question mark HTTP localhost port 8080. And so this argument is going to be passed into this file. Now you might be wondering, where is this file located? Is this just a magic string that Webpack understands? No, it's not a magic string. Whenever we see the syntax where we don't start with a // or don't start with an absolute path, Webpack is going to include this from the node modules folder. So it's going to do node modules, and then it's going to locate our Webpack dev server, which is right here, and then it's going to include client index.html. So this is the file that's going to be prepended onto our build. So you can go and you can read the source code if you want to. And we have to make sure that we inform this file. We pass in this additional piece of data that will indicate to it where our Webpack dev server is hosted, which is set in our gulp file.babel.js, where I tell the server to listen on port 8080. So we also have to add one more item here, and that is going to be the Webpack hot only dev server. And this is an additional file that's going to be enabling HMR for our application. Additional files can be prepended to our package. And we have only dev server, and we also have dev server. There's the two files that you can use here. The difference is that if I did dev-server, it will reload the entire page if we change a file that it doesn't understand how to reload in a hot module replacement scenario. So if I change a JavaScript file that's not being registered to accept hot module replacement, it'll just reload the entire page for us. Only dev server will not do that. It will not automatically refresh our page if it can't figure out how to do the hot module replacement. I prefer only dev server because there are instances where I'll be changing large swaths of, like, I don't know, like back-end code that we can't hot replace. And I have a habit of hitting Control S all the time. So it'd be really annoying me typing in a bunch of like backend type code, hitting Control S all the time, that every single time I do that, all of my pages refresh, and that would just be obnoxious. So I use the only dev server. So with these two files prepended to our bundle, we are just about done. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the public path. Instead of the public path being /build in a production build, I'm going to set the public path to HTTP localhost 8080 build /. And what this will do is when our content root is going to be on port 3000. That's where our server is, right? That's where our Express app is going to be hosted from. But so that's where our URL is going to be pointing to. But on our Webpack builds, in the JavaScript and CSS, it needs to know that it needs to prepend the location for the dev server onto all the assets and all the URLs that it generates. Otherwise, it'll be creating URLs like /build /app.scss or something like that, or not app.scss, that gets compiled into the app.js, something like, audiofile.wav. And that URL won't be valid because our browser will try to load this audiofile.wav from our HTTP localhost 3000 endpoint and not the Webpack dev server. So we need to replace the public path with something that points to the dev server. And, it might not be a terrible idea. I know I'm using 8080 here twice, and then I use 8080 and I hard code that into the Gulp file. Might not be a terrible idea to move that variable out into a configuration file, but I'm not too concerned about that. Just know that these all have to line up. We are hosting the Webpack dev server on 8080. We are telling our Webpack dev server client to connect to it on port 8080, and we're saying for our public path to prepend all of our public URLs with port 8080, so it all gets loaded off the Webpack development server. Of course, that's not necessary in production. In production, I'm simply going to use /build/, which will then point to whatever the domain of the site that it's being hosted on is. But stuff and things, that should be pretty much about it for enabling hot reloading. And as I said before, the style loader supports hot reloading out of the box because you don't need to do anything crazy or special to replace all the CSS on a page. That doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change the behavior of anything. So we should be now able to do hot reloading with CSS. So let's go ahead and try that out. going to bring down a console window, and I'm just going to do gulp dev. Move this guy off to the side a little bit. And then I should have a Chrome window here somewhere while that loads. There you are. So now I'm just going to navigate to our server. Our server just started. And looks like we're good. So now I can bring over our page, and we see that in the console, we see HMR waiting for update signal from WDS, Webpack Dev Server, and then WDS hot module replacement enabled. So now if I hop over into source client client.scss and maybe change the background to a darker color and then hit Control S, notice how I did not have to refresh the browser. And in fact, if we look at the HMR output, we see that it'll indicate to us when the app has been updated and so on and so on. So what about JavaScript? Well, if I come over here to this JavaScript file, move this console over here, come over here to this JavaScript file and say, you know, this is a change, and hit Control S. Notice that app updated recompiling, which is good. We got a hot update, but then it says the following modules could not be hot updated. They would require a full reload, and notice that nothing changed. The file did not re-execute. And the reason for that is when you want to hot reload JavaScript, you actually have to explicitly tell Webpack that this file, or one of the files it depends on, is going to be accepted for hot reloading. It's an opt-in feature. So unlike with styles, which does that all automatically, with JavaScript you have to do a little bit more work. Not much, but a little bit more work to get it to work correctly. But I think we'll do that in the next video. This is basically, again, all we need for now for a hot module replacement. But in the coming up video, we're going to see how we can hot reload our JavaScript code. And most importantly, how we can hot reload our React components without causing any issues. And we'll talk about the issues that we might run into in the next video. So with that, all you got to remember is add the plugin, add the 2 files to your entry point, the Webpack Dev Server client, configure it to the right URL, and then the hot only dev server. And then I added the public path, which wouldn't affect hot reloading, but I changed the public path because that'll affect asset building in the future. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video.